first Star Wars film was released on May 25th, 1977. Ever since that day, the entertainment industry hasn't been the same. Star Wars changed so much about how movies were made and how they were marketed. Star Wars pioneered visual effects, revived the orchestral soundtrack, and launched the science fiction genre into the mainstream. Since its release in 1977, Star Wars has grown into a timeless classic series of films and shows that continue to be loved by many the world over. One of the things Star Wars is known for is its visual effects. We are familiar with the glow of a lightsaber and the shot from a blaster. These kinds of effects were once thought to be impossible, yet George did it before the days of CGI. All the computers he used were made from scratch for the sole purpose of creating these effects. George Lucas went to great lengths to ensure that Star Wars looked as good as possible and did so well the special effects are still considered good even by modern standards. Another major accomplishment by George Lucas and the creation of Star Wars is the revival of the orchestral soundtrack. In the 1970s, it was an era when filmmakers preferred to use modern mainstream music as the soundtrack. Imagine what Star Wars would be like if it had a 70s era pop music soundtrack. It wouldn't be Star Wars, would it? We Star Wars fans can consider ourselves lucky that George Lucas thought likewise and was able to hire John Williams to compose the music for our beloved saga. Today, Star Wars music is universally recognizable and is of a certain quality that is rarely seen. Thank you, John Williams, for writing such amazing scores for Star Wars. Another great accomplishment George Lucas achieved was in marketing. When he made the deal with 20th Century Fox, he wanted the rights to create merchandise and to sell his movie. George created toys, t-shirts, and more in order to advertise Star Wars to the public so that when the movie came out, people would buy tickets. In doing so, George revolutionized how movies were marketed. This success allowed George to go on to create 5 more movies we know collectively as the original trilogy and the prequel trilogy. But the greatest achievement of all was in storytelling. In this regard, Star Wars was massively successful because George Lucas followed the same structure found in mythology and legends around the world. By using a near universal storytelling structure, Star Wars appealed to more people. Each character had their role to play in the story, and each archetype was represented. Good and evil were clearly defined, and the characters went through many challenges along the way, and this opened the door to the creation of more content that blurred the line between good and evil. We Star Wars fans like that very much. We like it when the Empire isn't totally evil and the Jedi aren't totally good. We see this concept of blurred lines a lot in the Clone Wars. The Separatist Alliance was attempting to secede from the Galactic Republic because it felt that its voice was not being heard in the Senate and that its needs were not being met. The Separatists were fighting for their independence from a government that was taking advantage of them. A noble cause, if I do say so myself. The Republic, though fighting to put an end to the Separatist uprising, wasn't without its own dark side. The Clone Army was an army of slaves indoctrinated from birth to fight and give their lives for the Republic without question or hesitation. None of the clones were given a choice in regards to their participation in the war. In addition to all of that, all this content makes character development a reality. Ahsoka Tano is one of the most beloved characters in all of Star Wars, but she wasn't always loved. Initially, she was very disliked, Fans didn't know how she fit in with the rest of the saga, and her immaturity and lack of respect for more established characters didn't help her anything. However, over the course of 7 seasons of the Clone Wars, Ahsoka Tano has grown into a fan favorite. It is things like this that make Star Wars fans love Star Wars. We like it when things connect to each other. We like it when things rhyme without repeating. We like it when the content creators love Star Wars as much as we do. We like it when the content creators understand Star Wars as much as we do. We like Star Wars for all its simplicity and complexity, all its meaning and the emotions it brings us. You know you love a story when you get emotional over seeing a particular character or hearing its soundtrack. You know you love a story when you get chills down your back because of a sound effect or a well-placed reference. And while it is easy for us to talk about The Mandalorian, The Bad Batch, and all the other new shows that are coming out, let us not forget that all of this was started by George Lucas a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away.